Mncwabe, good evening, and thank you very much for your time tonight. You are, of course, looking at 2 seats, 400 members of the National Assembly. Where does this confidence that your motion will succeed come from?
Well, Butabo, good evening to you and the viewers at home. Indeed, we are confident. Remember, there is currently no party in the National Assembly that has a 2/3 majority in terms of representation. Whatever you want to pass in Parliament, if it needs a majority, it means you must lobby each other. You must speak to your colleagues. You must get canvas support from your colleagues. And that is what we are doing as an ATM. We are not worried about our 2 seats. Remember, above all, is not the seats that votes, it's the conscience of people. That is what we are saying when we speak to our colleagues, that let us follow our conscience. Let us look at this matter deeply and see how can we rescue the country.
Yeah, it's on public record now that certainly, even though you tried to get rid of this stigma of the formation of ATM and how it came about, the Democratic Alliance still doesn't believe you're genuine in your aspirations. In fact, they still believe you're a faction of the ANC, and therefore they will not be supporting this motion.
Well, Butabo, a person who continues with that debate, with those allegations, those assumptions, is someone who doesn't stay in South Africa. Because those who are resident in this country knows that a number of people who have made those allegations have come up and apologized to us, including the media. And above all, those who are suspected in the ruling party to have behind us have been cleared by their own party as well. Just recently, there is another newspaper also that came up and apologized to us as an organization that indeed there is no evidence that link us to anyone in the ruling party. We are not the faction of any other party. We are not the instrument of anyone. We are a political party with our own constitution, our own policies, our own members.
Yeah. What do you say to some of the analysts who have looked at the situation and have said, well, look, this motion comes from a fairly weak party, from a non-entity party. There's no evidence that has been given. It's a really weak motion. It's a non-starter. It's a non-issue. In fact, we should be focusing on more important issues. The African transformation movement is wasting the time of the National Assembly.
Well, I believe, Butabo, that the word, those who came up with the word surprise was out of the experience of expecting the unexpected. We do not get discouraged on what people are saying. We are a political party who have been given a mandate by our people. We've got our own rules, policies I've set as the Constitution. No one will deter us by saying, you've got 2 seats, you are a new party. Yes, we are, but the vision that we have about this country might not be as naive as people might think. Let the motion come. We'll see whether they will continue talking like that after the motion has been tabled.
Yeah.
We are not scared. We are not shivering. We are waiting for the day.
The Speaker of National Assembly rejected your request to have this motion voted on secret ballot, saying you've not managed to give evidence that there is a prevailing environment that is toxic and highly charged, and that could possibly endanger some of the members of the National Assembly. Now you're asking her to reconsider that decision. Why?
Well, it's true. We have mandated the president of the party, of the ATM, to write a letter to the speaker asking her to reconsider. Because remember, in this kind of a motion, it's not a new thing in the Republic. There is a precedent. There is a court judgment. You must remember as well that she has been sitting with this motion for almost 10 months. Now, when she comes back to us towards the end of the year, when she wants to close the calendar of the assembly, it says, I give you an opportunity to present your motion. Let it be, however, it won't be secret. Well, that is a hide and seek. That is why we have instructed the president to write to her to say, reconsider this, because there is no way you can, we're dealing with the head of state here. It's not a minor thing. There is no way you can trivialize this kind of emotion. That is why we insist that it needs to be on a secret ballot, like any other serious motion against the sitting head of state. We do not think that to say it should be the show of hands. That person is taking us serious, is taking the motion serious. Remember, in this country, we've got a history of political killings in different provinces in this country. Now, when you expose a motion like this and you say it should be on an open vote system, what are you saying when you consider those kind of serious issues like those of political killings? So there is a lot that needs to be considered, but we'll take the speaker along, failing which we'll have no other choice but to seek the advice of the court.
Yeah, but you have not given any concrete evidence of a highly charged environment. I mean, what are you basing that on?
When we said to her, the letter that was submitted to her office, if you're in parliament, yes, you are there in the ticket of your organization, but when some issues like this comes up, you must be able to be granted a choice to vote with your conscience. You will remember that in the same parliament, whether you are in the opposition or the ruling party, there are some allegations of members of parliament who have been bribed, paid by certain people within the political atmosphere of this country. Now, if you open this thing up, you are raising more fears to those people. But we've detailed everything to the letter that was submitted to the Speaker of Parliament. But I want to emphasize the issue of political killings as well, that it's much of a serious thing that must be considered. You cannot just expose openly the politicians when they exercise their mandate, when they exercise their conscience, because we know what happens at the end of the day.
So some of the top brass within the African National Congress believe that the party will put all their differences aside as far as this motion is concerned, and they will defeat it. I mean, if you don't have the opposition, you don't have the majority ruling party, what do you have?
Give us a second ballot, you'll see. It's easy that you'll go out and say, we are a united force. This is what we'll do, not only the ruling party. And I must deal with this notion that our motion is based on the support of certain people in the ruling party. It's not. We are engaging each and every leader of the party in that parliament. We are engaging our colleagues to say, this is what we have. Can we get your support? It's not that we're only counting from them, but I want to say to you, we are not convinced that those who are saying we will defeat you, we are united more than ever. They speak what is in their heart, they speak the truth. We do not know. Members of parliament will be there voting with their own conscience, and we are lobbying each other. That is what I must be saying. There is that feeling among, especially the analysts, that we are putting this motion because we are counting on certain people or on the ruling party. Well, we are not. We are putting the mandate as given to us by our people and those who supported the ATM. We are not scared. We will continue to do that without fear.
Sibusiso, I appreciate your time. Sibusiso Mncwabe speaking for the African Transformation Movement tonight. Thank you for coming through.